Hello everyone! Welcome to this game. When we last left off, we just finished our run of Super Mario Bros. 2, or Super Mario World, or Yoshi's Island, or Super Mario Bros. 3, or Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Honestly, this game was included along with all 5 of those titles, so I could probably just insert this playthrough at the end of those other ones and it'd still be correct for chronological something or another. I don't even know how I want to word this. Yeah, it's kind of weird that this was included with 5 different games on the Game Boy Advance. I guess they wanted to make sure that people had the opportunity to play this 4-player, because this game has a 4-player mode. And you needed a copy of the game for each player. Anyway, as is probably obvious, this is a remake of the original Mario Bros. Arcade game. This was the first game in which Luigi was introduced. And I'm not playing as Luigi. I don't really have the option. So I guess we're just going to be playing Mario. This is a fairly simple arcade game. Each level you need to clear out these pipes of these creatures, flip them over, kick them, every enemy you kill, a coin spawns. This arcade game is pretty much unlimited. First off, we'll eventually find some more enemies than just Spinies, don't you worry about that. But besides that, hold on a sec. Let's get a combo going here. When you combo, you get more points. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Right, we'll find more enemies as we proceed onward. But this is a never-ending arcade game. After a point, levels just start repeating, and yeah, it just keeps on going. Technically speaking, the level counter stops at level 99, but if you keep playing past level 99, you'll find that each level 99 is different. It is continuing to loop between the levels. It's just the counter that stops at level 99. With that in mind, the goal of the game is simply see how far you can get and acquire as many points as you can. No, I'm not too worried about getting a score. I just want to see how far I can get. Of course, as the levels go on, things are going to get more difficult. There is also a bit of a time limit in each level. If you take your time, eventually fireballs are going to spawn and start bouncing around. Even in the earliest level, they'll eventually do that. And the further you go in the game, the faster they begin to spawn. Oh, there's a fireball right there, in fact. It's just going to bounce from one side of the map to the other. Eventually, there's another fireball that spawns at the top of the level and just bounces all over the place. As for methods of playing this game, I already mentioned that this game was included in 5 different Game Boy Advance games. Boy, my timing was awful there. You're about to wake up. When they wake up, they're gonna move faster. Kinda dangerous. But as for other methods of playing this game, let's see, there's obviously the arcades. This game was ported to the NES, and by extension, various virtual consoles. The NES version was also playable in Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Bros. 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And of course, this minigame, or this was also used for a battle mode in Super Mario Bros. 3. Various points, we get these bonus levels where you want to get all the coins, and if you do, you gain an extra life. Kind of think of it, points are kind of important because so many points, I forget how many, but every so many points is also an extra life. A mechanic that I kind of wish they had kept in future Mario games, because it actually gives a reason for points in newer games, even looking at games like Super Mario Brothers. That's an icicle. It's going to freeze a platform down below, and I think the frozenness continues. No, it didn't stay in the next level. Either that or I ended the level before it could finish freezing the platform. Frozen platforms, as you can imagine, are very difficult to deal with. I was hoping you bounced the other way. Hold on a sec. Destroying you. Got you in time. You can also destroy the fireballs, which is helpful. Although not necessarily. Maybe helpful for the fireball that is more frantic with its bounciness. Oh, there it is up there. It's spawning, and it's going to be bouncing all over the place. Although I've noticed it has difficulty actually landing down below. At this point, we've already seen all the enemies there are in this game, but there are going to be more hazards as we go along. You'll also have noticed the power blocks at the upper and lower portions of the level. They do exactly what you would expect them to. They shake the ground, flipping over any enemy that is on the ground. And I'm making use of it now. I can't remember for certain, but I think eventually the power blocks refresh. Oh yeah, things are definitely difficult now. That fireball is spawning in a hurry. So let's stand right here. Grab both of those. Sit up here for a moment so that the fireball spawns up there. I want to check something real quick. Yeah, so initially this game was included with Super Mario Advance, which was a remake of Super Mario Bros. 2. And so this remake here uses Super Mario Bros. 2 Remake's Advance's engine. Therefore, you're able to pick things up. And by that I mean you're able to pick up the power block. But doing that means you only get one use out of it. Oh, I really didn't want that platform to be frozen. Oh gosh! That was bad timing. First death. How unfortunate. Oh boy. I just remembered there's extra levels of angerness with these enemies. They can become angry when waking up, and if you take too long grabbing them if they wake up while angry, they're even angrier. Okay, now, the platforms do not stay frozen between levels. Eventually, though, the platforms are going to start frozen, and that will be tricksy. Yeah, I was hoping I could get that before that happened. As you can imagine, ice physics... bad. There is a certain distance into these levels I would like to get before getting a game over. I think I'll be capable. Oh yeah, enemies also get angry whenever they're the last one. This just got a little bit more difficult. I have not actually played the original arcade Mario Brothers, so I don't know if these bonus levels were a thing, or if the platforms disappeared in them. That might be a new mechanic. After all, in the original Mario Brothers, you could not pick up the POW blocks. Thank you for that one-up, I kinda needed it. Now we're reaching the point where the platforms start off icy, and we get icicles dropping down. I did not mean to pick that up. But let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of it. I was just trying to press the run button. Yeah, the icicles are going to be an issue. I love that little jingle, by the way, that plays whenever you respawn. I mean, ideally, I don't hear it too often. Some of these coins I am not going to be able to get. When enemies go down the pipes down below, they respawn at the pipes above. Coins, though, they don't respawn. So hello there, Beer Force. Welcome to the stream. Okay, that was a fail. The POW block being gone is definitely unfortunate, because gave me something to stand on to hit these enemies from below in the middle. Also, this scrolling. This game was obviously made for a larger screen than the Game Boys. They didn't bother trying to fit it into the Game Boy Advance screen. Rather, they just did screen scrolling. Which is a bit of an issue, because being able to see the entire playfield is kind of nice. Like, you can't see any enemies that are on down below. Alright, you can do the high jump in this because Mario 2 engine. Don't pop out anything. Okay. Boy. Hang on it, this is not technically my first time Let's Playing Mario Brothers. I Let's Played the version of Mario Brothers that was on Super Mario 3D World. Just focus on killing them. Was not able to get to that in time. But it's hopping off in some other direction, and I'm not getting it. Okay, the fact that icicles can drop off of the pipes above is definitely an issue if you're not having them on screen. Because suddenly, here comes an icicle that you didn't know was spawning. I am 90% certain that you cannot bop the icicles as they are dropping from the ceiling. Get you. I don't want icy platforms. Speaking of ice, wait for that one to drop. Get you. Okay, we're down to the last... What are those enemies called anyway? They have a specific name. The only name that I know is the Spinies. I'll kind of think of it. In some other version of this game, either Mario 3 or Mario All-Stars, there's also Koopa Troopas. You can't actually kill them, I don't think. Maybe you can. But you can kick them off and hopefully kill some enemies and or your opponent in multiplayer. Also, I just remembered, we're dealing with Spinies in this, but in the original arcade game, it was... Oh, these are waking up a little bit faster now. But in the original arcade game, it was the Koopa Troopas. So Maddie says the ice things are Mr. Freezy, I think. And fighter flies are the fly dudes. Okay, hold on a sec. Beer Force says... Something's gumming up the plumbing. Poor Luigi's in a bind. Snapping turtles out to get him. Creeping crabs aren't far behind. Fighter flies. Holy cripes. They're all coming out of the pipes. Mario, where are you? Yes, I recognize that commercial. That's a fun commercial. Remember when video game commercials were fun? And yeah, specifically for the Atari version of Mario Brothers. I don't have the Atari version of Mario Brothers, but I have the Atari version of Donkey Kong. It's kind of a mess. It only includes 2 levels. As for how it plays, I don't know. I actually own a copy of it, but I haven't dug out my Atari in a long time, so I haven't had a chance to try it out. I bought the game used at a flea market. But it's so weird that there's Mario games on non-Nintendo consoles. I mean, besides the CDI. I was not trying to pick that up. Again, I was just pressing the run button. You know, all things considered, I'm doing pretty well here. Almost level 30. Haven't gotten the game over yet. The loss of power blocks was kind of annoying, admittedly. I'm not entirely certain, but I think there's still another difficulty level to come, another difficulty spike. I want to say eventually even more platforms start out frozen. Nut bunnies. I wasn't paying attention, and that one was apparently there. Well, as long as everything is spawned anyway, just want to kind of stand here. It's actually possible to stand in a place where enemies cannot get you. Let's see, this spot here and across the room, and down at the bottom pipes as well. Nothing can get you, not even the fireball. I mean, it's certainly close, but... Oh gosh, this is unfortunate. Wait for that to pass. But I'm reminded of when you needed another hit. When I was a kid, playing the Mario All-Stars versions of these battle minigames. Oh yeah, in that, you also had unlimited iframes whenever you respawned, as opposed to this version where it just drops you down if you spend too long waiting to drop down. But what I would do during the battle minigame Mario vs. Luigi is I would just kind of stop and watch all the monsters here and there, and just kind of treated it as an ant farm of sorts, watching enemies bounce around. Some of them I would set up to be angrier, so they'd be moving faster and bumping into each other. I don't know why, but I just found it fascinating to watch. Anyway, first game over. You get one continue. Let's make use of this continue. At the very least, I am satisfied knowing that I am making it all the way to stage 30, unless I just completely fail in this level. That is certainly possible. It's definitely most ideal to be staying on the upper levels, because then you don't have to worry about icicles dropping down on you. At the same time, you have all these fireballs chasing you, which kind of gums things up. And then ice physics also if you're on top. Ice physics suck. Tell you what, at the very least, this version of Mario Brothers, way easier to control than the arcade version or the NES version. As annoying as it is to accidentally pick up the POW blocks, the Mario 2 physics from Mario Advance are actually really good. Okay, let's get a much-needed one-up from this. So Beerforce says, also in Mario All-Stars Battle Mode, if the other player hit you from below, you would have infinite iframes until you moved. Oh yeah, that was a mechanic. Also in Mario 3. Not invincibility frames, mind you, but in Mario 3... if you hit the player from below, you could steal their card. not immediately. The card bounces around and you have to catch it, and the other player has a chance of catching their card back. I'll just kind of let you guys drop. Please don't place in... nut bunnies. Not the best place to be frozen up. No, you don't. Oh gosh. Fireball. That continue, by the way, reset my score. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing... I mean, if you're going for a high score, but otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Well, that was unfortunate. Okay, stay up here. That way a fireball spawns up here. Not the direction I was wanting you to bounce. Oh, wow. That was a mess. So in terms of enemies getting angrier, if the enemy is the last one, they get full rage mode. Although I'm not sure if the fighter flies do. Because the fighter flies don't seem to change color whenever they're the last one. Here, let's leave that one for last. No, the fighter flies don't get mad when they're left alone. They are quite chill. Ah, darn. Spawn down there. Good news, we're dealing with slower enemies. It's actually possible, by the way, to combo 3 enemies. The points double with each combo. I don't know if it's possible to combo more than 3. Hypothetically, maybe? I also don't know if it's possible to combo to the point of getting an extra life. Like it is in various Mario games when you stomp on them. Oh, so it is possible to kill the spikes that are going to be dropping. I think I just killed one. No time to get back to the coin. Yeah, I did just kill that. And it's not from bopping. The platform, but kind of swiping it. However, you want to work on the timing of when you swipe it, otherwise it just kills you instead. Icicles can be deadly. I both failed to hit the POW block and land on top of it. Okay, I think this is my last life, which is unfortunate with the timing of that, because, oh boy, that was a little nerve-wracking. Okay, should be 1 enemy left? No, 2. Conveniently enough, one of them is the fighter flies. Oh, that thing's actually coming down. But I think it just winds up going back up. Yep. It can't actually hit the lower levels. Not in this version of the game, anyway. I know it can in the Mario 3 battle arenas. I don't know if it can in the NES game or the arcade version. Good news, though. Another one up for me. These bonus minigames are pretty easy if you know what you're doing and have a good sense of where the platforms are. I think we've definitely reached a point where the levels are just repeating, though, because we're not seeing any new patterns necessarily, and the platforms are not becoming more frozen as we go along. Mr. Freezy's aside. Okay, safe to say that those enemies down there are the last two. So I'm just going to sit up here so that the fireball spawns up there, but instead I had to drop down. Ooh, I'm about to hit 10,000 no, 100,000 points. Well, that'll be an accomplishment for this run. If there's anything that I would like to have had as a goal, it's achieving this score. Ideally, I'd like to make it further, but you know, that keeps happening. And that's it. Game over. Made it all the way to phase 39. That's actually pretty good for me. Well, I suppose if you wanted the ant farm effect, this is another way of doing it. You have to deal with the game over phase and press start flashing on screen, but we can just sit here and watch the ant farm. See how long everything gets frozen. We're not actually going to do that, though. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and end things today. Oh boy, this was definitely a fun playthrough. Playing through that game that was featuring Mario and doing all the things I was doing during it. Had a lot of fun, totally worth playing. And then, this was fun too. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for reaching as far as I managed. Incidentally, I'm betting some people stopped watching as soon as I started up this playthrough. It's like, we're not here to watch you play Mario Brothers, we're here to watch you play the main game. So, to those of you who have stuck around, I want to say thank you. You are one of my favorite fans.